Hi, friends. This is Mrs. Howard, and today we're going to do some problem solving together. And I'm going to tell you a story about my daughter and I. So, Mrs. Howard and Addison went on a four-leaf clover hunt one day. Have you ever been on a four-leaf clover hunt? Have you ever seen a four-leaf clover? Well, here you'll see Addison searching through a clover patch to find some four-leaf clovers. And in this picture, you'll see two of just some of the four-leaf clovers that we found. Are you ready to hear the rest of the story? Mrs. Howard found some four-leaf clovers. So let's take a look at the pile that Mrs. Howard found over here. What would be a good estimation? What would be a good guess for how many clovers Miss Howard found? Would 2 be a reasonable guess? No. Would 10? Probably not. What about 25? I would say that would be a reasonable guess. Let's see what the rest of the story says. Addison found some four-leaf clovers. Do you think that Addison's pile is as big as Miss Howard's? Let's look at it again. There's Miss Howard's, and there's Addison's. Did Addison find more or less? It looks like Addison found less. So if we guessed that Mrs. Howard found 25 clovers, how many clovers could Addison have found? Could she have found 20? What about 15? Yeah, she could have found 15 or 20. Anything smaller than what Miss Howard found, right? Okay, let's go on to the next one. Mrs. Howard found 33 four-leaf clovers, and Addison found some four-leaf clovers. What do we know now? We know that Mrs. Howard found 33 and Addison found some. What do we also know? We also know by looking at the pictures that Addison's amount was less. So if Miss Howard found 33, how many could Addison have found? Could she have found 29? Right? Anything smaller than 33, right? Let's see if we can find out how many Addison found. So Mrs. Howard found 33 four-leaf clovers, and Addison found 17 four-leaf clovers. Well, I want to go over here to our what do we know, what do we not know chart. So far in our story, what do we know? We know Mrs. Howard found how many? 33 four-leaf clovers. Do we know how many Addison found? Yeah, we know Addison found how many? She found 17 four-leaf clovers. Is there anything else that we know? No, they haven't told us anything else that we know for certain. Is there anything we don't know? Can you think of anything? Do we know how many they found altogether? So how many four-leaf clovers did they find? Right? Because they didn't tell us how many that was altogether. They just told us Miss Howard found 33 and Addison found 17. So let's go back to our story. Okay, so, let's see what we have next. Mrs. Howard found 33 four-leaf clovers, and Addison found 17 four-leaf clovers. A gust of wind blew some away. What does that tell us? So we had all of these clovers that they found, and then a gust of wind came and blew some away. So what happened to their pile of four-leaf clovers? Did it get bigger or smaller? It got smaller, right? Because a gust of wind came and just blew them away. Well, blew some away, not all of them. Let's go back to our chart. What can we add here to what do we know? Well, we know a gust of wind blew, I misspelled gust. A gust of wind blew some away. But does it say how many it blew away? It doesn't say how many. So could we put that in the what do we not know? Could we put how many clovers blew away? Because it doesn't tell us that? Yeah, we could put that. Let's see. Let's go back to our story. So, Mrs. Howard found 33 four-leaf clovers, and Addison found 17 four-leaf clovers. A gust of wind blew some away. Let's see what we add to our story. Mrs. Howard found 33 four-leaf clovers, and Addison found 17 four-leaf clovers. A gust of wind blew some away. Now they only have 12 four-leaf clovers. So what new information did they give us? Right, now we know how many they had after the wind blew some away. So now we know in the picture, look at the picture, that there's only 12 clovers now. So what do you think they're going to ask us? What mathematical question do you think they're going to ask us? Right, maybe how many did the wind blow away? Let's see. How many clovers blew away? Okay, let's read this one more time. Mrs. Howard found 33 four-leaf clovers, and Addison found 17 four-leaf clovers. A gust of wind blew some away. Now they only have 12 four-leaf clovers. How many clovers blew away? So let's go back to our chart. What do we know? We know Mrs. Howard found 33 four-leaf clovers. We know Addison found 17 four-leaf clovers. We know that a gust of wind blew some away. And is there one more thing we can add there? There are 12 clovers left, right? So after the gust of wind came and blew some away, they only had 12. Okay, let's look at our what do we not know. Okay, we don't know how many four-leaf clovers they found altogether. How many four-leaf clovers did they find? And then, how many clovers blew away? So how many of those clovers blew away? So after we find how many they found all together, how many clovers blew away? So what is this, friends? Is this a one-step or a two-step problem? This is a two-step problem. So you're going to have to solve two different equations to get your answer. All right? Okay. I will talk to you later. Have fun.